Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Okay, in this project, we are going to show you how to set up some reference images in the scene so that you can build your models off those references. It's quite easy, very straightforward. All you have to do is just go online, or you can hand sketch out and design your own blueprints. I think it's easier if I just went online and grabbed a image that I want to create. Since I wanted to make my life easier, I just went over to a free sort of blueprint image site, and I grabbed one image right here. And I grabbed a old Soviet Russian TT-33 pistol, and I used that sort of blueprint. And I'm just going to drag that image into our scene. As you can see right here, if we rotate this, our image is sort of stuck in that angle where we sort of threw it in here. Now we can either manually reset this all to 0, so they'll go, snap into the center right here. Actually, you can just right click, snap it to cursor, selection to cursor. It'll snap over, but the rotation is still all at whatever numbers they are. We can just reset those. But I think the easier, way faster way of sort of setting your reference image is just simply going into the front orthographic view right here. You can change your view angles by clicking on those sections right here on this little gizmo thing right here, or viewport gizmo. I'm just going to click on 1 since I have it set to 1 right here, and I'm going to make sure that we are in that angle. Yeah, and I am going to go into our image again, just drop that back in. As you can see, it's set to 90 degrees since it's set on this front side right here. You're gonna make sure that the center, or its image location, is set to the center. I'm just gonna right click it, snap it to cursor. It'll automatically go over there. And I'm actually going to delete the lights and cameras right here. So I don't really need those. You can just delete those. We have our front, or actually this is the side view image. And front view is like right over here, the gun barrel section. I would want to actually set this as side on the right orthographic view. I'm going to click on this. And let's just dump this. Let's go like 90 degrees right here. Okay, so that's our first reference image. We are just going to go ahead and rotate this guy. I am going to actually duplicate it, Shift D, click, and reset this back to 0. Go into front view. As you can see, it's like a duplicate of the image right there. Gonna have to slightly shift this so that the front side of the barrel is actually sitting over here, and I am going to turn on snap mode. I'm gonna click on the gizmos, turn on the move gizmo, so it makes it easier for us to do more precise movements, and that is roughly at the center. That seems pretty good. I'm gonna go into side again, front view, side, and it's spot on since we didn't really move it on the z-axis, so it should be in alignment with the whole section right here. Now we definitely need the top-down view of the pistol as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just take this piece right here. Let's go Shift D, and actually no, not this one, since this is the one that's center right now. This is the sort of front view version. I'm gonna take this one again, Shift D, click, go to the top view, and I am going to set this to 0. Let's go kind of rotate this, see how this looks. Definitely want to put this guy in the center right here. Should I set this to 0? Let's see, 0 degrees. That's not a good idea. Keep it like that. And let's go back to the top view. I'm gonna make sure that this piece is centered. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna hold on to Shift so I can do a little bit more precise movements. See if I can put it at the center. And there you go. We have our weapon, top to front, and then the side view right here, the side. And that should be pretty perfect. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, top view seems good. We can align them or kind of see how it looks by simply adding in an object right here. Let's go Shift A, create mesh, cube. Oh, actually, before we do that, I'm going to make sure that these objects or these reference images aren't selectable. I'm going to take it out from the first collection. I'm going to create a new collection. Grab all these guys right here, drop it into the second collection. Right here, we only have the options to turn off visibility of our collection. I am going to sort of open up the menu a little bit, just sort of wind it up. You should see this little option here, little drop down menu. These are like the filters or the filters for the different toggles. As you can see, there's multiple options here. What we want is the restrictions toggle for the movement. We're going to click on that or selectable sort of tab right here. Turn it off. As you can see, this little mouse icon or little cursor icon is on. Just click on that, turn it off. Now we can't select the background references. And yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead, go into first collection, Shift A, create mesh, make it over there. We're gonna try and align these guys. Let's go into the X-ray mode. Let's scale this on the X-axis. Let's go into the top view. And as you can see, there is some slight issue right here. It's not perfectly aligned with the top view of the gun right here. Let's go scale on the X again a little bit more. Actually, never mind. It is sort of aligned. It's just these pieces are slightly off of here. Or actually, it's slightly shifted to the right a little bit. Might need to move that. Let's go into the front view. I'm going to move, or actually scale this down. Roughly around here, that little ring down the bottom. Upper sights. Let's go to the side. Check it out. Perfect height over here. All we have to do is just move this a little bit forward. Press over here. Gun barrel is a little short. I'm going to go into edit mode. Grab the front face right here. Let's go into face mode. And just pull this section towards the front of the barrel. This is just sort of a rough estimate of how the object should look or how it's aligned. Let's go into top view again. Check it out. Perfectly set right here. Lengthwise, front barrel, everything's good. It might be slightly off by a little bit, but don't worry, you can kind of adjust it while we're going along, sort of modeling the object. If you want it to be super precise, it's actually better if you took this reference image and sort of photoshopped it to match everything, like totally align it. Maybe some of the pieces are slightly scaled up or slightly scaled lower compared to each other. But right here, we have a decently aligned reference. So let's see, I might want to shift this just a tad bit and might just fix everything. Yeah, I think it was because the object was just a little bit off on top. It's not over here in the bottom. Yeah, there you go. We have our reference good to go, and we can start sort of modeling this object. Now, you might want to sort of push the the references back in a way so you can kind of see things a little bit better. I'm going to go back into the collection 2 for the references. Make sure you can select them and just shift this like farther away. Same with this guy right here. Oop, not that one. Definitely not that one. That's the one that we want. In position, put like that. As you can see, if we go back into the different viewpoints, because they're still in that sort of section right there, you can still sort of model from the sort of reference right there. And actually, since the side orthographic view is over here, we kind of shifted to the right, and it's kind of covering the object itself. So I'm just going to move this to the left side, and I am going to jump to the right now. And as you can see, we can see the object again. But yeah, there you go. We have references set up, and we can pretty much start building this little reference model, or this little TT-33 Russian, like I think it's Soviet pistol again. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now that we've established our reference images, we can go ahead and start sort of building this more properly. We are going to start off with the side profile of the gun. Just going to go ahead and go into edit mode and start throwing in some edge loops to kind of match up how or where the sort of gun shape is structured. Now I'm just going to add in some over here. We're going to kind of ignore the edge flow problems or any edge flow issues. I'm just going to make it as close as possible to the sort of profile here. I'm going to add in some more edge loops here, and just going to go throw this in over here where the trigger is roughly at. The thing about this weapon, it's a lot more smooth profiled compared to other weapons, such as I guess a Glock. A Glock is more, rigid, kind of rectangular. This one, as you can see, just has a lot more curves to it. And we are just going to continue on throwing in additional edge loops. Going to sort of mark out the sort of flat surfaces where I can. Let's add in one right here. I can pretty much just push this whole sort of surface down. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that instead. As we can just match this to the height of the sort of gun barrel. The sights, everything else over there, we can add in later on. I'm going to go Shift R, add in, oops, not Shift R, Control R. Add in another edge loop, sort of fix up where the gun barrel section is. Actually, even the gun barrel itself is like a short sort of stub right here. You can push it to the front of the weapon right here. Sort of take that and just push it towards that flat surface. You can extrude out those points over here later on. Now, for the whole bottom section here, this extra space, we can now pretty much just delete this. I'm going to go ahead and delete those pieces. Let's delete faces, and we have the sort of rough profile of the gun. And with that done, let's go ahead, let's go into vertex mode, and select these points and pretty much just drag it towards those, I guess the major points. These other areas, we can add in edge loops to sort of curve them inwards. Well, that comes later. For now, it's just, again, try to fit that profile of the gun. Gonna do the same thing over here. Gonna reach it over here. You can add in edge loops or bend it inwards later on. Actually, this bottom section isn't really the bottom, because this is sort of the magazine. We just want like the bottom hilt of the gun here. So match that up, and then we can just throw in a lot more edge loops. I'm going to sort of move this to this point, these major points, and this section over here. Take this bottom piece right here, perfect right here. You can just use that, start that as the sort of curvature over here. I'm gonna even just throw one central one right now and just move this towards the sort of anchor point right here. Do the same thing for these front pieces and just sort of bring them over. I'm gonna grab this piece, kind of bring it to this flat surface here, right over here, and that's pretty good. Now if we rotate it, I'm actually gonna go jump into or turn off the X-ray form right here. I'm gonna make it so that this piece right here, well, this whole surface is sort of closed in. You know what? There's actually even easier way. I'm going to create a half piece right here, and just add in a central edge loop. Delete this half. Click L, delete faces, and we're going to grab this, go into modifiers, throw in a mirror mask right there. It's x-axis perfect. Turn on clipping, go into edit mode, grab the outer edges here, and make sure all the edges are selected. It's going to extrude, move on the X, snap it in to center, make sure nothing is out of order, and we definitely have extra edge loops since we sort of grab this edge right here as well. Just gonna click into vertex mode, select all vertexes, right click, merge by distance, and we're gonna open up the distance count, merge distance 0.001. Believe things were merged before. It should pop up as a little green menu right there. As you can see, we have a closed sort of object here. Now when we move in the 3D view, I should probably move the sort of top section here, the top reference. I'm gonna move this down so I can see things a little bit better. Move down to the bottom, and that shouldn't affect anything right here. Yeah, there you go. It just makes it easier for us to sort of see the object overall in our 3D viewport right here. Yeah, there you go. We have generally a fairly similar in profile to the gun with our little mesh right here. And with the bonus of having it, we can just work on one side without worrying about the other. Also, since this object is a sort of mechanical sort of object, it's easier to do this sort of mirroring option because it's a symmetrical type of object. But yeah, anyways, we have this basic profile. Let's take a short break and we'll come back to this later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we are back again with the TT-33 Russian or Soviet pistol. We are going to continue on, sort of building on the silhouette of the gun, and we are just going to add in some basic edge loops to all the curved sections. Now, actually, before I do anything, make sure to turn off the selectability of the background so you don't accidentally mess around with the sort of reference images. I'm just going to call this ref, TT33 ref. That way, we can, if we want to, build additional objects in here, or such as like other weapons, we can just throw in some another sort of collection right here and rename it, use the new references. Anyways, let's go back, let's go Control R, add an edge loop here. I'm just going to grab this section, sort of pull this out to where we generally want it to be, and actually that seems pretty good. I'm going to add in like an edge loop over here. I can pretty much just cut off this bottom face right here. Let's go into the side view again, grab this bottom section, delete faces, and we are just going to go into edge, grab this edge right here. I'm going to not select these, and we're going to extrude this on the X, just snap it together. With clipping on, it automatically clips together, and it shouldn't, well, disconnect from each other now, as you can see. Slight little problem we have here is now we need to merge those sections together. As you can see, I am just going to go ahead and let's right click, merge by distance. Should be 2 vertices got removed. Seems pretty good. Okay, as you can see in the front view here, the gun, that little tiny part right here, this section, or actually this whole section right here, it kind of curves downwards. Well, actually no, this is the area that we're sort of working on. This section right here that curves inwards, that's roughly around this area right here. You can worry about that later on, since we're just mainly focusing on the side profile. Now this section right here, this edge loop, I'm going to try and move it towards this area so that we can get this nice curve over here. Just going to double click G and slide it sort of forwards right here. I grab this top section here. I'm just going to move this, I guess, like over here. Roughly here. Could probably push this down a tad bit. As you know, that seems good enough. I'm going to add in like an edge loop here, since we need this curved inwards here. Same with this section. I'm just going to move this in, give us that nice silhouette of that section. I'm going to tag this towards over here, and we can pretty much add in, well, another edge loop here. Just grab the vertex, slide this a little bit inwards. Same with this section. Definitely need one here as well. Grab this, curve this inwards, and for this one, we wanted to curve outwards, like so. And as you can see, it looks a lot better. Now with those extra edge loops, it gives us more options to sort of work with over here. These sections, we want to curve it inwards. And we can turn off the X-ray and see how it looks. There you go, decent looking profile. Still has some work to do. It's still kind of rough over there. Definitely need to add in additional edge loops to kind of fix these sections up. Just gonna add these right here. We could technically kind of just isolate it to this section here, but I feel like the front section over here, it does need some more edge loops. So same with this little slide right here. Might as well just add it in. Don't need to worry too much about constraining the amount of edge loops we're going to use for this gun. That seems fairly good. I feel like I could probably double click G, slide this upwards, or no, I'm not going to do that. Manually click it. Click on G. Let's actually move this to, actually undo that. I think for this part, I could probably add in an edge loop going upwards instead. It's like put it at this center section right here, move this up, and it kind of curves it like so. That seems pretty good. Actually, you know what? I turn on snap mode, go into vertex. I wanted to sort of align with this point right here. I'm gonna just hover near it and it should snap over. Turn off snap mode by going shift tab, just turn that off. I'm gonna move this slightly up. You can add in additional edge loops over here. You're gonna curve this section, curve this section as well. Just add those. And just push this on the y-axis right here. This guy, I think we can curve it in as well. And this one, match a little bit better with the whole side section here. Definitely want to adjust that. And yeah, there you go. Now for this section, I'm gonna move this down towards here, and I am going to sort of shift this inwards here. I guess like roughly around here. Move this guy inwards, kind of match that section. Control R. Again, we don't have to worry about overusing edge loops. We can fix up the flows later on to then reduce the amount of edge loops that we need. For right now, we're just sort of doing some basic matching of the silhouette on our TT33. And there you go. Our weapon is looking fairly decent. You can go into the different perspectives on our references to kind of shape up how the weapon looks later on. But for now, we're just going to keep with this side profile and work on this later. For now, let's take a short break. Come back to this later.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this course. If you want to watch the rest of the course, the link is down below. Not only will you get the access to this course, but you'll get access to a lot of other courses in a huge bundle, and it's on sale today. So buy before the sale ends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.